Not on.
I think it works.
Okay, testing, yes. Okay, so beginning with a vision, since this is about vision. So I have a vision where women inhabit their bodies powerfully and are connected to their sexual energy, not to be sexy or sex objects, but because they're connected to themselves inside their bodies. And that is what I am here to talk to you about today. The way that I build toward this vision is by spreading something I invented that's called pussy walking. And it is a technique of mindfulness and connection with oneself that I've been teaching for about 10 years. And I've been kind of quiet about it because obviously talking about pussy walking is like kind of confronting. And this is actually maybe the biggest place I've done that. And I'm really scared. So. My name is Sasha Kagan. I'm also from Cranston. I also went to Cranston East. I'm a writer and serial entrepreneur turned executive coach. So I have always been really into women's empowerment and also sexuality. So my mother took me to pro-choice rallies here in Rhode Island. Supporting and uplifting women has always been important to me. And during my life, I also found that actually having a good time in sex is also important, and feeling connected to your own sexual energy, which isn't really about sex, is also important. So basically, I got out of Rhode Island after 18. I was sort of desperate to leave. And I moved to New York, San Francisco, and then Buenos Aires, where I lived for 5 years. And I became a different person because I think if I had never left, I probably wouldn't be talking to you about pussy walking. I'm really sure of it. So what is it? So basically, pussy walking is something very simple, and all of you who either have a pussy or pussy energy or whatever can practice it tonight. It's a matter of walking with your attention on your pelvic region. And these are women who have attended a pussy walking workshop displaying the international sign for I Practice the Pussy Walk. So as a symbol of your connection to your female power. And you can see how proud and happy they are, which is something that happens when women get in touch with their pussies. These are some places where pussy walking has spread. Like I said, I haven't been really ambitious because I'm still getting my courage with putting it out there. But there have been, this article where a woman interviewed women about the benefits they've experienced from pussy walking. Actors have talked about using it. And, well, it's okay, so where did it come from? This is maybe a curiosity. So about 12 years ago, I was living in San Francisco, and I had basically done what was the practical thing in my mind, take a job in Silicon Valley, and I was really unhappy. And I felt that I had to get out of my head and into my body, so I went to Brazil. And in Brazil, I was really impressed by the way that women walked. And there was just something about the sway of their hips and the looseness of their bodies that made me feel like I would like to have that type of walk, but I came from here and my body was more stiff, and it was sort of, how can I do that? Well, after Brazil, I went to Colombia and I stumbled on tango, which is a whole other story that changed my life. But basically, my first teacher told me the power for a woman in tango is in the vagina, which was something I could never forget. Like, what the hell does that mean? Something that sticks with you. After Colombia, I went back to San Francisco and I took a lot of female sexuality workshops and sort of put in context where I had been learning about pleasure and confidence and self-worth for women. And I was practicing orgasmic meditation, again, a whole other story. But I was practicing it so much that I was kind of on autopilot as I was walking to a job. I just felt really good, and the only way I can describe it is my labia were on good terms with each other. So then it was like, wow, this is pussy walking. It's really working. I did really well at the interview, nailed it. Amazing. So I had the question of is this something that a woman, I or another woman could repeat? And is this something I could teach? So I started looking into the anatomy, and I don't know how many of you are aware, but it was only in 1998 that an Australian urologist did an MRI of the female sexual anatomy. The clitoris is not just a little button that people search for. It's actually this whole structure inside the body that has more nerve endings than any other nerve ending, any other organ, male or female, all for pleasure and delight. So why don't we know this? Oh my God, so much gender bias. I mean, it has been edited out of medical textbooks. Women and men don't learn the truth of what is going on inside women's bodies. And so basically we have this great organ here with many nerve endings that we can activate just with our awareness. So stepping back to look at the language as I'm thinking about this, cocky, that means confident. And we can all imagine a man swaggering, connected to his sexuality in that way. And what is pussy equal? What is a pussy swagger? And what is big pussy energy? Like, why aren't we talking about this? So I started teaching pussy walking, and it really is remarkable because every woman who ever came to one of my classes definitely experiences some kind of transformation. Primarily, it's about how she inhabits her body and feels herself, but also the rest of us can really see it and feel it. I say it's like feminism, but you can feel it in your body. And it's a female superpower because unlike men, it's not obvious. Like, you're not gonna have a hard on. You're basically activating this energy and no one will know. And it works. I mean, yes. So, I would love, because now I'm back in Rhode Island, close to Boston, I would love to find scientific collaborators who would like to study the effects of pussy walking. I consider it like the next level of a power pose, and to be uniquely, authentically female, and not something you put on, but something you feel from the inside. So anyway, you can try it. It's very easy. You can come to a workshop, but you don't need to go to a workshop. You can just do it. Do your normal walk, and at some point shift your attention down there and notice what happens. You can ask a friend to observe you. And please reach out to me and tell me how it goes, and you can be part of my research. All right.